So what we're going to go ahead and do now, we're going to go ahead and get into Cocoa with Kymmy. So, Kim?
I was just thinking about those children that got killed in Florida. I really, 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 really send my condolences out to their families. But what y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do? The NRA is so deeply involved in politics, and with these politicians, it's ridiculous. So it's like, are we gonna keep pretending we don't know that? Or are we actually gonna do something about it and pass some sort of legislation to stop these guns from getting in the hands of the people that don't deserve to have them? I don't even know what else to think about or what else to say, because, you know, when you have children, it's like you drop your kid off at school, and it happens too often now. And it's just so obvious that, I mean, when you keep asking your local government, you know, what y'all gonna do about it, and they keep ignoring it, come on now, you got to get those people out of there. You got to get those people out of there. It doesn't make any sense.
The guns ain't the problem, though, and I'm going to tell you why the guns ain't the problem. Roosevelt Middle School was probably one of the worst middle schools that we had. I ain't going to say the worst, but probably one of the middle schools that had probably some of the most troubled kids in it, right? On that middle school property, there was plenty of guns on property in middle school. You know what I'm saying? That's just from outside shit. Like, you may be beefing with somebody.
But did they shoot 17 people?
Nobody shot nobody. There was not one incident with guns.
Yeah.
Don't nothing happen. And they go through that same shit. We losing our mamas to cancer and having trouble at home.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? The kids that go to black schools, a lot of their schools have metal detectors. Now,
and see, we didn't have that.
But they're starting to put them in a lot of black schools now. Do you think they put them in the white schools, even though they're the ones that are shooting the schools?
So was Columbine a black school? When Columbine
back then, that was the first school. I'm just saying, since then, since like within the last 10 years, they're starting to put metal detectors in some of the high schools.
That's discrimination, because like you about to say, ain't no black school been shot up. It's never been a school.
But I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. That's what's happening though. Yeah, they're putting them into the black schools, and they don't put them in the white schools. Right. But the white schools are the ones that are shooting the schools.
Well, I seen somebody tweet something about saying they need to put metal detectors and have a armed guard. Somebody was like, "You describing a prison." I'm like, shit, that's what black schools look like. A lot of black schools anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. The black kids go through it all the time.
Look like a straight prison.
Black kids, I see some black schools, they have guards, they have cops. In Texas, you know what? This is another part of the prison, the school to prison pipeline. I mean, clearly that's not happening in a white school, because they don't know what the hell we're talking about.
There's a school
there's a school to prison pipeline. I mean, they put that in the mind, right? But they're putting that in your children's mind early. If you don't behave a certain way, then you're gonna go to whatever. When I moved to Texas, and this is a thing, you know, we have our North-South debate, but we really got to go back to the history of gun laws and why the gun laws are how they are in this country in the first place, from slavery, because that's the only thing that they had that the Indian people didn't have: guns. That's the only thing they had that a lot of the slaves didn't have: guns. Once the slaves started getting a hold of the guns and they started outnumbering them and they started revolting, that's where all that fear and I need a gun comes from. It's like instilled in them. You know what I'm saying? Because they think, oh no, I need to have a gun because, oh, you know, what if you guys want to steal all my stuff? Right. So it's instilled in them after generation after generation. So the Constitution, and I was reading this too. This was on truthout.org. By the time the U.S. Constitution was ratified, hundreds of substantial slave uprisings had occurred across the South. Blacks outnumbered whites in large areas, and state militias were used to prevent slave uprisings, and they could only exist in the context of a police state. Now, when you look at the Second Amendment, it mentions the word state because each state was having their own issue, and the debate was the North and the South at the time, slavery. So the only thing that was going to make slavery easier and for them to make people want to vote for it, they threw guns in there. Like, oh, okay, well, we need guns because we need to have all these militias. Mm-hmm. So now it's like instilled in them, especially in the South. Like I know that you guys say, you know, people in middle school had guns or whatever, Guns, I'm from New York and in New Jersey, like, guns are still outlawed. Like, you can't have a gun. You know what I mean? We have them. You go to, that's what Lil Wayne got locked up for. I mean, just, a lot of them rappers go to New York. I remember, and got locked up. They don't play that.
See, down here it ain't like that.
Down here it's like
that.
Right, but that's why though. It's rooted in racism and slavery. A lot of the laws, especially in the South, because when it came down to, you know, whether to abolish slavery or not, to try to get more states on board, they were like, but we want you to keep your guns. You know what I mean?
I just feel like I said, you know, I don't think having the guns in the school is the problem. Cause like I said, the way we grew up, you know what I'm saying, if you knew your enemy was lurking on campus, he had a car and he was gonna shoot you, you know what I'm saying, you was gonna have that protection. If you knew when you got off at the bus stop, somebody was gonna be waiting for you, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
we did that too, but
me.
It would like be a way around it. But this is what I'm saying. The middle schools and then the high schools now, what I was gonna tell y'all, when I was in Texas, my daughter got into a fight at school and she had to go to court. I was like, she's 14 years old. What the hell you mean we gotta go to court? 14-year-old girls fight in high school. You get suspended, your parents bring you back to school and you go home. You know what I mean? No, in Texas, you gotta go to court.
That don't make no sense.
They have an on-campus police.
Oh, it was like the school court or actual court?
Well, no, the actual court handles the school cases. I had to go to the county courthouse and see a judge.
What they charged with? Assault?
No, it was a fighting in school. Like, they have a zero tolerance for fighting. That is prison shit. They getting these kids ready for prison. All that wear khakis and blue shirts or red shirts, like, and getting these lines and all this stuff, and you can't have a fight. I mean, I can see if it becomes a problem.
Make a good point.
But it's definitely, I definitely noticed the school to prison pipeline when I lived in Texas. And I kind of started to regret raising my daughter in the South. I honestly did. Because I was like, yo, why do they do the kids like that down here? And I'm sure
she had
now,
to wear uniforms too?
Yeah, she had to wear uniforms. They went, the lengths that they went to try to control what these kids thought was crazy. And another thing they say too is some of those charter schools are like that. The people that actually sponsor those schools allegedly push certain agendas on these children. I mean, that's what the public schools do too, right? But I'm just saying, specifically corporate sponsors, you know, push their agenda on these kids. I don't know. I don't have any more kids, and I'm so glad, because I cannot.
Should have another one soon.
I will never. I will never. It took one time for me to realize. And then raising a kid now, oh, hell no.
It's different.
This world is just different now, even in the last 20-something years. Like, it's crazy. But you definitely have to take a look at the gun laws, why they are how they are, find out who is, and I've looked up, too, some of the companies that were getting NRA donations. Some of the, not companies, some of the politicians that were getting NRA donations. And guess who popped up?
Trump.
Your boy. Marco Rubio. That dude got his hands on all sorts of foolishness, don't he? He was the one that paid them people to look up the Republican information. He was getting those information from those people about the Russians.
No, I think that was Giuliani.
Who? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was him. Giuliani is from New York. So I'm going to look it up now. The politicians that are getting NRA donations. And Marco Rubio was number one. Let's see. You know that's your boy from Florida. So that's why y'all had guns in middle school. John McCain. $7,740,521. Say it ain't so. I don't know who this is. Richard Burr, Roy Blount, Tom Trillis. I don't know who any of these people are. Corey Gardner. Oh, there he is. Marco Rubio. $3,303.
Damn.
They're all getting money from the NRA. So when they start rolling their eyes and acting like they don't know what you're talking about, when they want you to change the gun laws, the NRA, their hands are bloody. I be on Twitter beefing with them all the time.
Only Kim, who you boycotting today?
The NRA.
And who we following today?
I don't know. Who should we follow? We have to follow. Oh, you know who I'm endorsing for president? I've already got my endorsement right in. Cory Booker, 2020.
I say Oprah.
Senate from New Jersey. Oprah already said she's not running.
I know.
So let's not do what we did with Trump and make up this stuff and fall for it. She's not running. We got to get behind real people, y'all.
Let's make the hood great again. My 2 cents, though, what I was going to talk about the shooting, too, but more so on the issue that they're trying to make it seem like he's a victim, he's mentally ill.
That's what they do. Stop doing that, y'all. We know that. Stop that. I'm sick of getting on Twitter and they're like, oh, they couldn't. Oh, they wasn't scared of the white guy. Oh, the white guy didn't get shot. We know that they do this already. You know who doesn't know, apparently? The white people. So if you could find a white person and just let them know.
You used to do that shit in school too, then you used to look at a motherfucker.
Why do we talk to each other about
that motherfucker gonna be crazy when he get about 20, 25 years old. And then 10 years motherfucking later, that same motherfucker in the dollar paper.
They be at work.
They be in school and they the type, they get mad, just screaming. They motherfucking,
yeah, exactly. It's like you say, we know exactly who the fuck it's gonna be. Motherfucker need help on site. Right then and there.
Yeah. He had 5 guns. He's in Florida.
And he trained with the
when y'all was in middle school with guns out, he was just buying guns. Crazy ass.
Ain't got nothing to do with no Florida. That motherfucker that just crazy. That motherfucker that came off the boat. They ain't got shit to do with no Florida. I mean, a lot of us came off the fucking boat, but that motherfucker came off another boat. Nah, don't.
That's Florida with all that. Everybody buy guns, and we can't let. They still scared the slaves.
We'll do that shit in the hood. We ain't doing that shit on no campus.
That's crazy.
But yeah, man, like more so, like I said, I don't like the fact that they, using the mentally ill card, because I went to school with a lot of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, that had mental issues, that was retarded as fuck for real, and like, some of them came out to be decent people, the majority of them thugged out of their ass in jail, or dead. So that's just what it is.
90% of the NRA's donations went to Republican candidates.
Kim.
They just selling the shit out of these guns. And that's what he bought 5 guns? I mean, what do you need an AR-15 for? Let's be real. What do you need an AR-15 for? Let's just be real. What do you need one for? Why do I keep saying that? Because I need answers. Because nobody seems to be able to understand why
you killing somebody.
You can't put at least. Can we just say, okay, we don't need to sell assault rifles? Can we say that that's specifically for, you have to at least state your intention and go through a check?
I want to ask people a question.
Like that?
What would you do if you found your child, if you found to know your child saying they gonna shoot the school up or they gonna do some shit like that? Like what would you do?
I'm taking my kid to the crazy people, the psychiatrist, the court, something. I can't.
I know when I was younger, I wrote a note. I wrote a note because
any lawyers out there,
listen,
please
I don't need no lawyer. Ain't got nothing to do.
Saying all sorts of shit on this episode.
These are my confessions.
We needed this GT only, bro. GT only.
No, but it was more so at the time, my mom had a strong belief that all her kids should stay together. I couldn't stay with my dad, and you know what I'm saying, at the time I wanted to stay with my dad. I was real close with my dad, and I wrote a note, and she took it as a suicide note. I'm like, where in the fucking? She told the whole family, I'm like, where in this note did I say I was gonna kill myself? I said, I said I love my dad so much I would die to stay with my dad. That's what I wrote in the note, and she thought it was a suicide note. And I was like, where in the fuck did I say I was gonna kill myself? I never said I was gonna kill myself.
That sounds suicidal to me.
That ain't no fucking suicidal.
He probably wrote it. He just got a woman, and he wrote it out of anger. He probably said F her.
I didn't put that in the note, but that's how I go most times, though. That's how I go most times. When I was 5 or 6, I used to pack my clothes and run away.
Me too. I mean,
all the time. I'm about to get to the end of the little complex. Bring my butt back.
Wow.
That's just how we express our anger. You know, you express your anger in different ways.
Doing their anger
we not killing nobody.
He had a satchel.
Oh shit! You had bread and shit in it. I did that shit one time. I took my mama a whole loaf of bread. I took like the peanut. She saw me walking out. She said, "Boy, if you don't get your ass in this house."
I used to run away, and my parents didn't realize I ran away. Because they would just be like, "Oh, we just thought you were sleeping over at your friend's house." I'm like, dude, I ran away. I dropped out of school. Like, I didn't go to school for like 3 or 4 days. You don't even realize it. I legit lived like at my homegirl's house. Her mom could have probably claimed me on her taxes. It was
that
like
shit
that.
Crazy. He said he'd get down to the street.
It's in the complex that my mama ain't paying no attention. She ain't make she act like she don't care. She gonna be right back.
I need to bring up something else too.
What's up?
Old girl that's totally